Good evening, it's June 23rd, and welcome to Cape Media News, your source for hyperlocal news that matters. I'm Lauren Williamson. Effective immediately in the town of Barnstable, the Eugenia Fortes Beachway to water is temporarily closed to vehicular traffic due to the presence of endangered nesting shorebirds. This means vehicles will no longer be permitted to drive on the beach to launch vessels. The town emphasizes this is a temporary measure to protect the delicate bird species during their nesting season. The reopening date for vehicular access will be announced as soon as it is deemed safe for the wildlife. For further information, or if you have any other questions, the Marine and Environmental Affairs Department can be reached at 508-790-6272. The Harwich Chamber of Commerce Charitable Foundation is excited to announce the return of the 12th annual Harwich 5K Road Race, Run, and Walk, aimed at promoting youth fitness in the town. The event, sponsored by Momentum Fitness, Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy of Cape Cod, and Wequassett Resort, will take place on June 24th at the Chamber of Commerce in Harwichport. The race features a scenic flat route through the charming village of Harwichport. Participants will have the chance to win awards, with the top 2 finishers in each division recognized. The event supports the Charitable Foundation's youth fitness programs in Harwich, making it a fun and family-friendly occasion. The 5K race will commence at 9:30 a.m., followed by an after-party and award ceremony at the Mad Minnow Bar and Kitchen. While participation is free, spectators can join in fun for $10, and children can attend for just $5. So lace up your running shoes and join other Harwich runners at this energizing event. The Dennisport West Dennis Advancement Committee is inviting all residents to an informational meeting regarding the West Dennis Route 28 Improvement Plan. Scheduled for Monday, June 26th at 5 p.m., the meeting will be held at the Bass River Marina Showroom. The public will have an opportunity to learn about and offer input on proposed changes, as explained by Town Engineer Ton Andrade and representatives from MassDOT. The session is free, and the committee encourages all to participate. Don't miss the upcoming bike rodeo hosted by the Yarmouth Police Department and Bike Zone of Cape Cod, taking place at the Station Avenue Stop and Shop Plaza on June 24th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. This event aims to promote bike safety and provide an educational experience for all ages. With interactive stations designed to enhance bike safety skills, participants can learn about road hazards, attach reflective gear to their bikes, and navigate an obstacle course to practice safe riding. Join in the fun and help create a safer biking community by attending the bike rodeo this Saturday. E for All Cape Cod celebrated its 5-year anniversary on June 6th with a vibrant celebration at Cape Cod Beer. The event showcased the achievements of E for All Cape Cod and recognized exceptional individuals who have played a pivotal role in E for All's journey of empowering aspiring entrepreneurs. Since July 2018, E for All Cape Cod has served aspiring business owners from all 15 towns of Barnstable County to help ambitious Cape Codders turn their dreams into business regardless of experience, education, background, or zip code. The program helps local entrepreneurs gain business knowledge to help navigate the Cape Cod's unique seasonal economy. E for All Cape Cod has graduated 116 entrepreneurs since it began in 2018. And in 2022, alumni businesses earned $4.25 million in local revenue. E for All even claims that 70% of the graduates are actively working on their businesses. At the June 6th celebration, E for All awarded 3 exceptional graduating entrepreneurs with cash prizes to recognize their outstanding achievements and contributions. Elise DeMary of Wildly Purposeful Gardening received $2,000 for her ecologically conscious garden design service. Tamora Israel of Community Productions was awarded $3,000 for creating films and events that centered marginalized communities. Christian Weber of Chocolate Nana received $3,500 for her nut allergy-safe gourmet chocolate truffles. The Community Development Partnership, a nonprofit organization based in Orleans, is receiving accolades for its exceptional housing advocacy efforts. The statewide organizations, the Massachusetts Housing Partnership, MHP, and Citizens Housing and Planning Association, CHAPA, are honoring the organization for its outstanding work in promoting affordable housing for year-round residents in the region. During MHP's annual Housing Institute, the Community Development Partnership will be presented with a prestigious Housing Hero Award, recognizing its remarkable contributions. Additionally, at CHAPA's annual dinner, Andrea Aldana, the Chief Program Officer of the organization, will be honored with Community Engagement Award for her instrumental role in advocating for housing solutions and empowering the local community. These awards highlight the organization's success in garnering public support and engaging communities in finding sustainable solutions to the pressing affordable housing crisis on Lower Cape Cod. The 2023 Hydrangea Fest is scheduled to take place from July 8th to July 16th in a joint effort between the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Heritage Museums and Gardens, and the Cape Cod Hydrangea Society. Heritage Gardens in Sandwich is a major stop on the tour, but here in Mid-Cape, 10 member gardens of the Cape Cod Hydrangea Society are part of the festival tour, including Mary Kay and Mel Condon's Garden in Yarmouthport. Other member gardens are located in West Yarmouth, Centerville, and Chatham. And 4 Barnstable gardens are also on the tour, courtesy of the Sturgis Library. Local plein air artists will be painting in all Cape Cod Hydrangea Society gardens, and the paintings will be available for sale at Harvest of Barnstable. Tours of the gardens cost $5 per person per garden and are open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., rain or shine on specified days. For more information about the Cape Cod Hydrangea Society, please visit www.capecodhydrangeasociety.org. A petition has recently surfaced on change.org, urging the Town of Yarmouth's Department of Public Works to reopen Yarmouth Disposable Area Dump Swap Shop, free thrift store again. Laura Lynn, a resident of South Yarmouth, started the petition on June 13, 2023. While the swap shop was closed in 2014, nearly a decade later, the petition has collected over 300 signatures with a goal of 500. The petition states this facility was a valuable resource for our community, providing a way for residents to donate unwanted items and find new treasures without contributing to landfill waste. It also served as an important resource for low-income families who may not have been able to afford new items otherwise, provided access to clothing, household goods, and other necessities that may have been out of reach otherwise to Yarmouth tax-paying and Yarmouth dump sticker-paying citizens. In response, Roby Whitehouse, the Yarmouth Assistant Public Works Director, says, "I can only say that I have no knowledge of any plans to open a free swap shop at the Yarmouth disposable area. Since the closures of Swap Shop in 2014, several thrift stores have opened in the town of Yarmouth, as well as a Restore on White's Path and the Yarmouth Food Pantry to provide much-needed assistance." Coming up after the break, the Father's Day car show and more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Lauren Williamson. Production on the Netflix show The Perfect Couple was halted this week when striking members of the Writers Guild of America showed up to picket. Teamsters and IATSE members who were working on the project, they showed solidarity by not crossing the picket line, causing the production to halt. News director Mitch Sock has more.
On May 2nd, the Writers Guild of America officially went on strike against the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, and now picketers have made their way to the Cape. The Perfect Couple, a Netflix show being filmed in various locations on Cape Cod this summer, found picketers from the WGA outside their base camp in Harwich on Tuesday morning, as well as picket lines on location.
We are striking against the studios and the AMPTP that represents a lot of the major players in Hollywood. From Universal to Sony to Netflix, all these major studios, because the working conditions have become impossibly difficult, whether it's through the lack of promise we've received from them that they won't use AI to write scripts, to the erosion of the stability of making a middle-class income at these otherwise jobs that used to be perfectly stable.
The primary issues in the labor dispute revolve around streaming media residuals, artificial intelligence, minimum basic agreements, mandatory staffing, and individual benefits for writing teams.
They've now created something called the mini room, and the mini room essentially wants you to do the exact same job with half the amount of time, half the amount of writers, and for scale. So rather than having 20 weeks to develop 8 episodes, they want to create the mini room where you only have 4 writers instead of 8. You have maybe 10 weeks instead of 20, but you're doing the same job. IATSE and the Teamsters have not been crossing our picket lines. They're respecting our picket lines, and we found that was true in LA, it's true in New York, but when we go outside of these major film and television making hubs, we're finding that the union solidarity is everywhere. It's an incredible message to send to people like David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Discovery, who in the last 2 years has cut himself a check for $250 million. But they tell me they can't pay the writers. All we want to do is get a call from the AMPTP to get us back to the table. They haven't even counter-offered anything. We're just waiting for them to call. So, my life isn't being a picketer. My life is being a writer. So our lives have revolved around trying to bring audiences content that makes them happy, that makes them laugh, that puts them on the edge of their seat. All we care about is bringing good content to our audiences. So it's been brutal knowing that the studios won't so much as give us a counter, so we can't go back to work to do the thing we love, to bring people the shows they love. That's all we want to do at this point. That's why we're here.
The WGA estimates its proposals would yield writers about $429 million a year, while the AMPTP's offer would yield just $86 million.
It's not about ethics anymore, it's about their bottom line. So the more we hurt their bottom line, the closer we'll be to hopefully getting a phone call back from them and getting back to the table.
For Cape Media News, I'm Mitch Sott.
On Monday, June 19th, Asselton Park was home to experimental rap, cowboys, and 3 fantastic drag performers, as the Arts and Justice Collaborative took over the park for Saddle Up for Juneteenth, a queer cowboy celebration. Here's Christian Garnett with more on this event.
The Arts and Justice Collective hosted Saddle Up for Juneteenth, a queer cowboy celebration, on Monday, June 19th from 1 to 3 p.m. at Asselton Park in Hyannis to celebrate Juneteenth, Pride Month, and the intersectionality of Black and queer identities. The event featured live music by Massachusetts-based artist Pink Navel. It also featured lawn games, a snack and ice cream truck, a magic mirror photo booth, face painting, and most notably a drag show at 2 p.m. And speakers on stage made sure to note the historically underrepresented roles that Native, Black, and Hispanic cowboys played in the Old West. The Arts and Justice Collective is made up of Amplify POC, Belonging Books, Cape Cod Voices, and The Cordial Eye, who use their collective strengths, missions, and resources to empower each other and our community to create a culture of belonging for members of historically excluded groups through social justice and art. Your queens were Iris Laveau, Lavender, and Larissa Montez. For Cape Media News, I'm Christian Garnett.
Last Sunday, the annual Father's Day car show, organized by the Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce, turned Main Street Hyannis into an automotive spectacle. The event attracted a massive crowd of visitors who gathered to marvel at the impressive exhibition of rich automotive history. Ryan Downs brings you all the details of this extraordinary event.
Last Sunday, June 18th, Main Street in Hyannis was transformed into a spectacle of gleaming automobiles. The annual Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce Father's Day Car Show flaunted the rich automotive history of yesteryears. The event marked the culmination of a car-filled weekend, starting with Friday night classic cruise and kickoff party at Copeland Chevrolet and Subaru in Hyannis on June 16th, and a car show presented by the Cape Cod Classic Car Club at Patriot Square in South Dennis on June 17th. Since its debut in 1996, the event has become a Father's Day tradition, offering a unique activity for dads and attracting visitors to Hyannis just before the summer season kicks off. Over the years, it has grown to become one of the largest outdoor events in New England, boasting an impressive array of classic cars and trucks. With a maximum capacity of 350 vehicles, the Father's Day Car Show lined Main Street from Ocean Street to C Street Extension transforming the thoroughfare into an automotive paradise. In a unique twist, up to 40 special interest cars from 1998 to 2023 were also eligible to register and participate. According to Marty Brumell, president and CEO of the Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce, the event garnered an estimated attendance of 30 to 40,000 people, with the possibility of reaching up to 50 or even 60,000 attendees. The show's popularity stems from the wide variety of fascinating vehicles on display. Among the many entries was a 1934 Ford Coupe with custom exhaust and pinstripe flames. The show also featured a 1963 Ford T-Bird, a souped-up vintage Land Cruiser, and a 1954 Plymouth Belvedere. The highlight of the event was the presentation of the Henry Hank Faram Participant Award, which is given to 40 outstanding vehicles chosen by the participants themselves. Car owners traveled from various parts of New England, including Cape Cod, with one vehicle making the longest journey from Danbury, Connecticut. Dash plaques were provided to all car owners, showcasing information about each vehicle and adding to the immersive experience for attendees. While some owners graciously allowed people to touch or even sit in their cars, most preferred to keep their valuable automobiles untouched, given their significant worth, with some exceeding $100,000. The Greater Hyannis Chamber of Commerce successfully organized yet another memorable Father's Day car show. The Chamber's commitment to preserving automotive history and providing a memorable experience for participants and attendees alike has solidified the show's reputation as a highlight of Father's Day weekend. The Cape Cod Classic Car Club hosts weekly cruise nights every Saturday night at 5:30 p.m. from May through September in the Patriot Square parking lot, 492 Route 134 South Dennis. Check out their website at capecodclassics.org. For Cape Media News, I'm Ryan Downs.
Coming up after the break, Voices of Veterans. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Lauren Williamson. Last week on Flag Day, Cape Cinema played host to Voices of Veterans, a panel discussion focused on the challenges that veterans face as they reintegrate into civilian life. The discussion aimed to raise awareness and understanding of the difficulties veterans experience when navigating work, family, and everyday life outside of the military. Many veterans deal with physical, emotional, and especially mental impacts related to their time in the service, and they possess unique perspectives shaped by military culture, camaraderie, and self-sacrifice. It's these perspectives that can make navigating the civilian world a daunting task for any veteran, but especially those who need help the most. Take a look.
O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Detail, forwards, arms. Left, right. Outward, arms.
Kim Rodriguez wanted to create an event to give veterans an opportunity to speak to the community about the visible and invisible challenges when veterans transition from military to civilian life. Many of our veterans have experienced physical, emotional, and mental impact of combat, and all have experienced the unique military culture of service, chain of command hierarchy, self-expectations of strength and control, a strong sense of rules and regulations, never leave a brother behind, and self-sacrifice. You're going to hear a lot about the people and organizations that have developed programs and tools to serve our veterans who have given their all to preserve our freedom and our way of life.
When I came home, I had a very difficult transition, as pretty much most of us have had. I survived a suicide attempt when I first got back into Garrison. Still hadn't found my way yet. And when I made it back home here to Massachusetts, somewhere along the way, I had made a decision that even though I had survived it, I must attempt it again.
Served in the Marine Corps in special operations. Did 5 combat tours there. Got out, went to the government clandestine services, completed 10 more deployments there, war zone deployments. So kind of during all that time, you see things, you do things that that the average person, well, not even average, any human would struggle with.
We needed to start a new way to address the dog and veteran issue. And so we came up with Sierra Delta, stands for Service and Dogs. What we do is provide service opportunities, because what have you heard up here so far? We all miss serving, right? We all still got something left to give. So we partner with Habitat for Humanity, Street Dog Coalition, and we're providing working parties to the national cemeteries because people aren't volunteering to come out and wash those headstones, and we don't have a cleaning service for our national cemeteries. So we're taking the mantle, no big deal. We also focus on dogs, all dogs, not just the service dogs that you see up here. Dogs like my Loki back home. He was abused for the first year of his life and was 40 pounds underweight when I got him. They were going to put him down because he was reactive. But I like a fighter. And so I took him on, and he's done great. I got 2 young kids at home, and he's wonderful.
You know, the big thing as a veteran, myself, and these guys can probably attest to this at the same time, is when you come home, there's not a phone book or a directory or a person that tells you all the resources that you have available. So my story is I went into the reserves. I was supposed to go into the Air Force, or I was going to go into the Air Force, and when they didn't have my job, I banged on the door across the hallway to the Marine Infantry office, and I said, I want to join, I want to leave within the month. Done and done. But when I came home, I didn't know what the resources were. I still don't know what all the resources are. I'm meeting these people here for the very first time. I've been out since 2011. So knowing the resources and having these gatherings where these veterans can learn the resources that we have to offer is very important. Because I'll tell you one thing, if I had these resources when I first came home, I promise you my life probably would have been a little different, a little bit easier with the support.
Basically, we partner humans with horses to promote their well-being. We run a veteran program once or twice a year if we can find the funding for it, completely free of charge through the Department of Veterans Affairs. What we find, which I'm echoing a lot of you guys, is when the guys come home, they don't have help. They have no idea how to regulate emotions. They have no idea where to even knock on a door. When we started our program, we actually had to go knocking on doors to find a program to work with us to find veterans. And it's messed up. So what we try to do is we go out to these outreaches, we go out, we start knocking on doors, and we promote the human and animal connection. Dogs are amazing, but there's a different connection when you're working with a prey animal. We're predators, we're the threat. So dogs want to please you, horses, you got to work for it. And it makes a huge difference. It starts clicking off all those light bulbs. You talk about needing a job, needing the training. Nothing works with a horse unless you put in the work.
We found that one of the biggest things that we ran into was the food insecurity, because we found that veterans would worry about shelter first, insurance second, transportation, utilities third, medicine fourth, food fifth. And we took that food insecurity program and we built, instead of a food pantry, we built what we called empowerment centers, because the chief was right tonight. Veterans don't want help. For 8 weeks, we beat the shit out of everybody in boot camp. We have to be tougher than the group before us. We have to put people through more. We do more hazing. We beat up more people, and we get tougher and tougher to the point where you carry out your mission. And you don't ask for help. You figure out how to get it done on your own. And that's what the veterans' mentality has been. And by getting to their stomach through our food insecurity program, we've been able to open up other programs such as clothing assistance, job training. We've worked on home assistance, home renovations. We've been able to develop a homeless veteran program where we've taken people from the military who are retired and used them as peer-to-peer mentors and done some fantastic work across the state.
I am not a veteran. I'm the son and grandson of one and the father of one that never made it home. And my way is to serve, is to give back. And just like Joe kind of mentioned his dad's story, and that folded flag, you know, you don't ever want to receive that folded flag. And so I've given a folded flag to the mother of Sean Gannon, who was murdered, my police officer, and I've received a folded flag. And surviving the folded flag takes a community. It takes you guys and ladies and these animals. I just wanted you to know that. You should be proud of your service. It's ongoing, and we are family.
Thank you for joining us this evening. If you have a story you'd like to see covered, send us an email at newstip@capemedia.org. Tune in next week for more hyperlocal news that matters on Channel 99, Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. For Cape Media News, I'm Lauren Williamson.